It's hard to understand the way that you went out. I bet you're living with a little hint of doubt. Maybe next time when you gotta show your hand, you won't cut and run, you'll finally make a stand. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Existential questions always get you down. All you want to know is are we lost or found? Is there something that you feel you need to chase? I bet you thought you'd put me in my place. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. You can run, you can hide, but inside, I'm finally getting to you. Yes, it's true. I still love you, but I am getting to you.
Stand by to initiate release sequencer. On my mark. 5,
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2, 1. Mark.
Okay, so don't talk in the background.
Welcome back to the Resupply. With me, GuyNextDoor. Bringing you your weekly double tap of all things Space Marines and Laserforce related, I suppose. Sorry. I'm all over the place this morning. I've just noticed that my camera is out of focus, and I don't know how to fix it. But that's alright. That's a me problem. Well, I guess it's a you guys problem. Today, we've kicked Than and DK to the curb, and I've got some special guests hanging in the wings. But I wanted to get to some housekeeping, and then I'll bring them on. It's interesting. I've just now realized that we are doing Women in Laserforce podcast, and so far there's no women to be found on the screen at all. But we'll rectify that soon. I'll do some brief housekeeping, and then we'll get like actually other interesting people on. We'll have a yarn. Good morning to everyone in chat. Thank you for joining us. I know it's sometimes not the best thing in the world to do, but you know, love that you do it. Oh, Hannah with the sub. Thank you so much. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. It seems to be a... Well, holy crap. No, Slam Man with the subs. Slam Man with the gift subs. That is very generous of you, sir. I've just now realized since I restarted my computer, I forgot to turn all the things on that make all the other things interesting to look at. But that's alright. Let me just rectify that. We're rectifying. We're rectifying, people. Bear with me. We're rectifying. We're off to a great start. There we go. Some lights. Thank you so much to Anonymous, whoever anonymously gifted Dan Mano a sub. That's awesome. Thank you so much. You'll rectify me. You calm down there, History Professor Dave. I'm gonna have to ban you. Did the new work? It didn't. So that was the first thing I wanted to get to. I had a play this week. I did a little bit of mild animations, and added a new thing. So
sucks.
Jesus
It really,
Christ.
really sucks.
Cheers. Can't believe all those subs. That's awesome. Thank you so much. If you give that another hoon there, Matt, that'll show the new animation for if you drop a nuke. So if you drop a nuke with special points,
I say we take off and
Something's
nuke the
supposed to
entire
happen.
site from orbit.
but it didn't. This. Boom. There we go. Was that fun? It was fun for me. You test, and then it all goes terribly. So that was the first thing. We have a new little animation as part of dropping a nuke to make it a little bit more visually interesting. The other thing I wanted to say, whoa, Emo Wolf with the sub. Thank you very much. That's so nice. I believe that you're from the UK. I've been told that you're from the UK. Thank you so much for the subscription. It's awesome. You guys started a hype train. Holy shit! There's so many flashing lights I can't handle.
I say we
goodness
take off
me.
and nuke the entire site from orbit.
This is just insane. You're a UK player. I kind of don't even want to do any of the housekeeping anymore. Happy episode 90. You know what? We're not even going to. We're going to jump straight into guests because I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. I'm struggling to hold it together. That's what happens when the adults leave the room. Let me go to this screen. Boom! We have guests. Hi guys. How we doing?
Hey.
I feel scattered. Because normally I don't know if you guys normally watch the show. I know that at least two of you do. We're a lot more on the ball around here with things. Way more prepared, way more professional. And maybe that's due to the other two being here. But let's do some intros. So today is a very special week for us. We Stu with the gift sub. Thank you, Stu. He's a liar. I'm not a liar. So normally this is a very male-orientated podcast and scene. And it dawned on us last year that we kind of need to change that. Because, it's time for change, people. It's 2021. Time for change. Yes, we can. So I wanted to do something special and do a Woman at Laserforce pod, and get perspectives that we may not have, and at least like have better looking people on the podcast than what normally is here. So, but so we'll start from top. So over here we have Al out of Brisbane. Down over there we have Goldfish out of Colorado, or
Wrong one.
nah, not for me.
Oh, no.
And underneath we have the Resupply super fan, or one of Smally McSmall, playing out of the UK. How you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
I'm glad that you guys decided to agreed to come on and have a yarn, because it would have been terrible if it was just me trying to pass as a woman. I mean, I could try, but
Give us your best woman voice, or your best son.
can't even. I could do the. That's about as good as it gets.
Because I'm worth it.
Because I'm worth it. Oh, Slam Man with the bits too. Thank you, sir. Man, you could like so much hype this morning. So much hype. As a okay, so here's the interesting thing. As a non-binary laser tag player, are you a rare card? You are, and I absolutely want to get you on the podcast at some point soon. But we'll get there. Hydrate. Fuck. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really thirsty.
So, I guess as a jumping off point, and we sort of briefly talked about a format, but we can kind of just yarn and talk about whatever. But as a jumping off point, I figured if you guys could tell the audience, you know, how long you guys have played for, and maybe a little bit about yourselves. Al, do you want to go first?
Ooh, I feel like I'm the newest, so probably the least exciting. I had to like ask D&D when the Brisbane Nats were, because I only just started playing before the Brisbane Nats. I think we decided it was 2018.
Yeah.
So
just before then?
Yeah, like probably 4 months before the Brisbane Nats.
Wow.
And I was lucky to get on a team.
Yeah. Wow.
They were like,
sorry, you go.
I was going to say, they were like, we need a medic. Do you want to play? And I was like, sure, why not?
That's normally how that works. I bet you guys had like 4 teams that year, right?
Yeah. Oh, did we have 3 or 4?
Yeah, because we
didn't have that weird team that was from a weird place.
The weird team that was from a weird... You mean New Zealand?
No. You know, Rusty's and Boom Trains Train, they weren't from Australia. They were from, you know,
right.
If anyone can remember where they're from, so we don't count them.
That's right. They're from, like, the halls of history is where they're from. Bloody old guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the cobwebs are. Yeah.
So you've been playing a couple years.
Yeah.
I
Goldfish?
actually started playing a week before the 2018 Brisbane Nats.
Oh, really?
Yep, I started playing, and then we sent Fear Turkey out, and I didn't have my teacher anymore for like a week.
Wow, so you could, because did you play in Detroit? You came out
My
to
first
Detroit,
Nat
right?
was the 2019 Detroit tournament,
right.
and it was my 1-year anniversary of playing.
Right.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome. I remember Josiah coming out to that one. He had a good time. He thoroughly enjoyed himself.
Too much.
Smally?
Oh, I feel old now. I think I started playing in like 2004.
Yeah.
Not on a competitive level till about 2008, 2009.
Still.
But I was mainly sort of doing multi-system stuff.
Right.
Rather than purely Laserforce. Just
So,
that's what
Armageddon?
was there, really.
So
yeah,
Armageddon?
the UK version of Armageddon, yeah.
Right. That puts you as a veteran player. Being
I guess you could say.
not calling you old. Just
I was going to say, what are you trying to say?
let me put it this way. I started playing competitive on a regular basis in 2003. So we've kind of had the same amount of time playing the game, which is interesting. Another interesting point about Smalley is that your name in that number 4 spot on the global games. I'm coming for you.
Yeah, it's like 5,500 games I think I've got logged with nearly 5k. Well, all but 3 off 5k at Peterborough.
That's insane.
Which is my home site.
Yeah.
All but 3, so I'm hoping it reopens after all this. Or so close.
What I found real impressive about that is, like you said, you're like a Geddon player, or the equivalent of, which means you've played that amount of Laserforce, but that must mean that you've played similar amounts to other systems as well, right?
Kinda, yeah. The first Armageddon I went into, I actually had only ever played, I think it was Laserforce and like Game of Quasar or something. I hadn't played any of the other systems. I literally went into it completely new. So it was literally, hi, here's your next system. This is how you play it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I got carried to second place that year, which was like phew. But yeah, then I had to fend for myself sort of the years after that. Didn't do so well. But yeah, I also had a good couple of years where I was in the Laser Quest scene, and to the point I literally did like European championships, like in Eindhoven and in France, like.
Sorry.
So I've played a lot of different systems, but yeah, Force is definitely the best one in my opinion.
That's right, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not just because we're a Laserforce centric show.
No, of course not.
Wow, that's pretty crazy that like you played. I mean, I suppose it's crazy. You played like a very, very long time and played other systems, not just this one. It gives you like quite a unique perspective over most Force players, I think, because we get kind of snobby when it comes to like laser tag systems. Like I can't do it. Like Force is the better one, I think. It's definitely the better one.
It is
When someone
really
mentions
interesting. No, it's really interesting having to sort of change how you play as soon as you go to the system. Like the Armageddon, you're literally playing 2 or 3 different systems in the same day.
Yeah.
So you'll say start with Laserforce, play that, and then like right, Laser Quest is next, and that's like a completely different style of play. And you have to just snap to that different style so quick. It's quite difficult.
Can I ask, is Laser Quest like Zone? What, like the zone that we have here?
I'm trying to think how to describe it. I suppose, yeah. It's an older system. I can't think how old it is now. I think it's a similar age to Quasar, one of the older ones.
Quasar.
Yeah. Some of them might be older than me, but it's certainly an interesting system. You sort of learn to play to the, I suppose, the limits of the technology at the time. Like an example is if you're pulling the trigger, the pack can't receive like a hit signal. So basically, one of the strategies is just to continuously fire your gun, because then there's only like half a chance you'll actually get hit. Which obviously on Force you're just like, well, no, I'll just shoot you. But
But Zone is kind of one of those systems that is built into that kind of scene, right? Like they play. Zone is one of what, a dozen different laser tag systems.
Yeah, I think we play about 6 or 7 systems over a 3-day weekend.
Oh wow! Oh my god!
Awesome. Yeah.
And like each system is completely, say, different and different like types of game as well. Like obviously Laserforce, we do SM5, so that's obviously a lot of teamwork and roles and stuff. Whereas you get like Zone is more focused around destroying the bases, so you're sort of more focusing on that, and then other games is just sort of acquiring the points really.
Right on. I don't know about you guys, so I think at the moment COVID's kind of killed off a lot of the gameplay. And Goldfish, my understanding is that you moved away from Colorado, right? You've gone away to college?
Yeah, I went up to university. I stayed away.
Right.
And we don't have any Force sites in the state,
as
far as I'm aware.
Do you have any tag at all? Like, is there any laser tag places or?
Allegedly there is. I've yet to see it exist.
Yeah.
And I've lived here since about August.
Yeah.
But supposedly I have laser tag somewhere.
I mean, you are in the middle of a pandemic. I suppose it makes things a little difficult.
No, the pandemic doesn't exist in Wyoming.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you guys know this, but I live in one of the only states in the U.S. that the pandemic doesn't exist. Like, literally, we didn't have a mask requirement in the county that I live in until the beginning of December.
Yeah. Well, that's, I mean, what's their secret? How do they keep it out?
We have like 5 people in our state.
That's good.
I live in a really Republican state.
Right. Well, so at the moment, who's actually playing tag? Is anyone...
I am.
You are?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Because in Brisbane, COVID doesn't really exist. Like, we had a lockdown the other weekend. Yeah. Like, you talk to people and they go, I think it's a conspiracy, because you don't actually know anyone, like, that has it.
Yeah.
Like, people know it's real, but they're like, you're not like, oh, my neighbor has it or my friend in. Yeah.
It's, I think a lot is like that, right? People, unless they see it firsthand, they're like, nah, bro. Nah. Apparently Dave Chappelle just got diagnosed. Apparently.
See, now it's real.
Yeah, now it's real. This ain't no COVID podcast though. So you're still playing on the regular. Are you guys in league at the moment, or?
We're in the middle of just socials at the moment. We haven't started again.
Yeah.
They're trying to decide what game style we're gonna play. Because last year we played where everyone plays for themselves and you get, I think your top 5 positions get ranked. And they've also given like handicaps to like Rusty and all those players who
Well, those guys.
So we're all more equal, yeah.
Yeah.
But then the handicaps are a bit weird because some of the players who haven't played in ages were got a massive like point increase, and I'm like, how are they winning? And I'm like, they've played and they've got like 17 like extra points every time they play, and yeah.
Was that like Troy?
Sorry, Troy just cheats. He's okay.
You heard it here. This is the scoop. This is a resupply scoop. Troy's the cheater.
Yeah. No, Troy's the one that like makes you chase him. He'll run out so you don't see him, and then run back in because he knows you haven't seen him. And then you run back in, and he's like, "Yo, you chased me."
He's
like a exactly. I don't know if we can swear on here.
Yeah, we can swear. Fuck.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Shit. Request from chat from Slam Man. Tell us about the cat. Smally, what's the cat's name?
It's like he heard you.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at his
What
back.
cat?
This is MJ.
What up, MJ? There you go,
He's
Slam
also
Man.
been outside, so he's currently soaking wet.
Perfect.
And has come to let me know about it.
But it's
He might
less,
actually sit nicely, you never know.
but less brutal than like dogs who like soaking wet come into the room and do the shake thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
at the
why GuyNextDoor doesn't have pets. No pets for
Treat.
Steve.
What?
No pets
I'll
for
try and
Steve.
bribe him to look at the camera. You win.
Give it-
Derailing everything. Tree, right over here. There we go. Look at the camera. There we are.
Oh, what a cutie.
Get
Oh,
him.
look at him.
Cam now.
I feel like I want to get my pet.
Yeah. See, you can
He's
tell.
not coming.
You can tell like the pet people.
Don't face that way. Face this way.
There's a certain thing that happens to a pet person's face when like a pet shows up. They're just like, everyone else.
Like,
Oh, she's so big now.
yeah, this is my cat.
Something wrong with your cat.
What is she just a bit fat at the moment? She gained some COVID weight.
Damn it.
Aw.
Steve fat shaming pets.
We are on a diet, but she don't tell her.
Aussie dog versus Smelly cat. Oh, Smally cat. Fuck, I did the thing, Smally. God damn it. Shit.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Derailed.
Yeah, derailed, but that's okay. Pets are allowed. What else was I gonna say? Oh, we've got butthole cam. Normally that's Than's job, but he's not here.
Please tell me, cat.
Please someone clip that and send it to him. You're right.
Please stop doing it.
Oh, have fun, Doom. If you're playing softball today, have fun, my friend. Video flagged. The closest we get to this much quality content is if Than wears a toupee. That's exactly right. So what? Like, and so I wrote a list of questions just in case, and but like only 2 of them were any good. So I'll ask one of them now. What got you guys like playing or at least like continuing to play? Because that's something that like I thought about when I reflected on my playing career. Why did I keep coming back? Do you guys have any like reasons, or were you just bored?
I still ask myself this sometimes. Because when I first got into Laserforce, suppose there's not a nice way of putting it. Basically, the guys who were the regulars at the time were complete dicks.
Right.
Basically, they didn't like me. I don't know why, but they basically wouldn't have anything to do with me for about the first year or
Wow.
so.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, fortunately I got on quite well. One of the staff members, who was the one that encouraged me, like, don't let them get to you. If you want to play, keep going, kind of thing. And eventually, after about a year, I think they were like, oh, she's not going to leave. I guess we'll talk to her. And then they actually kind of accepted me at that point, I guess. But fortunately, I'm quite stubborn. So I kept it up, and and really got into it from that point, kind of thing.
Just turn up out of spite.
Pretty much in the end, yeah.
Guys are jokes, Hoodlum.
There was a girl as well, it weren't just the guys. There was a girl who literally wouldn't speak to me, like, made a point of not speaking to me. She did not like me. And then after a year, suddenly I was her best friend. It's like, oh, okay. Whatever. It's strange.
I mean, mine was kind of similar. I had started playing. There was one other girl at our site. She started playing shortly after. But seeing as I started playing right before a Nats, I got introduced to the concept of, oh, we do these big tournaments, and heard all the big names of like, oh, these are all the best Space Marine players. And the thing that got me coming back was none of them were girls.
Right.
Every big laser tag player's name that you hear Rusty, Traj, Scythe, Baden, those are all men. And my big thing was I wanted to keep playing and build a name for myself and shoot to make it so either me or another girl is one of those people that has their name known in this community for being one of the best players.
That's cool.
Because you still don't hear it. When you think about all of the best players, who do you think of?
Me. Clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly. But like, it's one of those that all you ever hear is, oh, Rusty is so great, Baden is so fantastic, Scythe, all of these players. But you don't ever hear that about girls. You don't ever actually really hear anything about female players.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a shame because like Brisbane have had and do have a lot of very good female Laserforce players.
Like Meow, Cookie, like they've been really, really good players. And I think like the biggest thing is sometimes when you start, they're like, oh, you're female, you'll play like a resupply position.
Mm.
So I think like the positions that people take as high quality or big positions are like, oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
Sorry, I was like, what's happening? You just had this look in your face. Are like Commander and Heavy. So when someone finishes a game, they don't go, oh, hey, Resupply, you guys did fucking awesome. They go, oh, you chained 3 nukes, or like, the Heavy missiled 5 people. But no one ever turns around and says, hey, like, you guys stayed alive,
hit all your doubles.
2 eyeballs, you fucking killed it.
Yeah.
You defended. Like, so I think that's where it's like the value in the position, and so I think maybe
that's like my big thing. That's what's got me to stick around, was that like I wanted to stay in the community long enough to hear like, women's tags and names known as some of the top players, and not just, oh, they're good for a girl. Because I've heard that line a lot too, is, oh, for a girl, they're really good, or they've been good for a while, but people are just now starting to recognize them and not just pushing it off as, oh, they got lucky that tournament, or like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be part of this community long enough to have like Pint Size known as one of the best players, or any girl known as one of the best players up there alongside Baden and all of the other legends,
Pint Size should be known. ECT, she came back cold and smashed. So Steve's good for a girl.
Playing with Pint Size at ECT was probably one of my best laser tag experiences, like hands down. I was so happy to be able to play with her and see her like come back and just fucking kill it. It was awesome.
Yeah, because I've forgotten like Bronwyn and all the girls from that side. They're actually really good players as well.
Absolutely. I think the first time I saw Bronwyn play was in Sacramento, and it was terrifying. It was terrifying playing against her. Yeah. Which site? I don't know what's going on.
There's a sack site. You know there is.
You remember
well,
back
was,
in the day.
sorry.
Back in the day. It's a bit stereotypical as most get put as medical ammo and not commander and heavy. When they do, it's like they're okay at those roles, which is disheartening. It's hard, and this is kind of why it's important that well, for me at least, because mostly everything that I do on the show is for my benefit, and then hopefully everyone else kind of benefits too. But to get a different perspective than the one that I've had is only positive. There's only good things that comes from seeing things from other people's perspectives. I think Meow is in that upper tier of players, and it's interesting because she is quite short, but to see her use that to her advantage, and especially in your maze out,
when she attacks, I hate it when she's commander, because you've got to constantly looking down, and then suddenly she's there, and you're like, shit, where did you come from? And she constantly gets into back tower, and you're like, how the fuck?
She just appears out of thin air. She's just like boop, bang, 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 kills everything. She's terrifying as commander. It's brutal.
Every time she's commander, I'm on the other side. I was like, oh god.
Outlook leads to improvement, strengthens the game and community, etc. Overall, that's exactly right. And we're all about community here on the Resupply. Speaking of which, if you want to join our community, !Discord in the chat. Check one of them is there. So, but what kind of what got you in now? What who put their hooks in?
Who put my hooks into me? Well, actually, I used to play, or I still do, I played paintball, and there was a few players who came to paintball who played laser tag.
Oh, cool.
And they were like, oh yeah, come and play. And I was sort of when I played laser tag when I was little, I was like, oh, it's fun, but I don't like that there's no, in paintball, you're not going to run after someone because someone's just going to shoot you, and it hurts. There's no, for me, there was no game behind laser tag. Running around and shooting people was fun for a while, but it's not as fun. So I was like, no, I don't want to play. It doesn't, it was fun, but I get to shoot people with paintballs. How can it equate? And then I came in and I was like, holy fuck, there's this whole game. There's rules, there's positions. And then I was hooked, because I was every time I came back, I was, when you first play, you're 2-3 grand. And then I was I want to be scoring 4, 5, and just keep cracking it. And I just wanted to improve in all my positions, and it becomes addictive.
And because you guys play a lot of saddest hour, because you guys play a lot of Space Marines, it's such a different vibe. We talked about it last week, in terms of building a membership. Brisbane is kind of the anomaly, where for other sites, building people's love of playing Laserforce, including all the other games, is probably the better way to go. But in Brisbane, you were thrown right into Space Marines, right?
Yeah, and it's intense. I think that's the hard thing, is because all we play is SM5. Last week, Chris is demoing new games. And so we'll play 1 or 2 of that, and we're all oh, we just want to play SM5. Get rid of this shit. What is this? It sucks. Well, Chris just must get owned by us.
He's
so
not
it was
the only
really, yeah. Just in the background, yeah. So it was like intimidating, but I was going to say, like, I know you guys had a bit of negative experiences coming in. I found that people were willing to like walk you around the arena because, you know, people were like, there's like targets here, you know, and they, you know, calling like back tower, new tower, the bilge. I was like, where the fuck is all this? And I'd be running around like an idiot, getting lost, and then everyone's like, stay upstairs. And yeah, like at the start it was really, a lot was happening, but I think that's the good thing about the game is you can choose how involved you get. So I was like, just do the basics, you know, you scout for the first 5 games, just walk around, shoot some people, find where everything is, and then you slowly go, oh, hey, I know where, like, these are the positions I can play around the field. So it was just like slowly building yourself up, and like it was intimidating, and especially when people get really into it, if you're like a heavy or a commander and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like there is a lot of yelling, like people just losing their shit if you miss a double or
Yelling? That doesn't sound like Laserforce players.
I know, they normally whisper like soft nothingness into my
That's right.
They just throw chairs.
Yeah, exactly. I know. That's why all our chairs are like bolted down now. Like
it's the GuyNextDoor rule.
Yeah.
No chairs.
Like only one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it is interesting, but I do enjoy playing SM5. Like we just don't play any other game, and you do get hooked. But I can see where it's quite intimidating for new players to come in.
Trend, like when you were still back in Colorado, like what was the like ratio like for you guys? Did you mostly play space, or?
Well, we had specific, like, we did our members nights that we just literally only did Space Marines. And then if we wanted to play other game modes, generally we'd just come in on a different day. If we wanted to play a different game, we'd do it before everyone would get there. So like our members nights started at 5 or something, and people would show up before that.
Yeah.
And before we had enough to fill a full Space Marines match, we would play randoms.
Water sucks.
Whatever
It
we
really,
did.
really sucks.
I should have turned that shit off today. Every time it goes off, water sucks. So, but like what, like primarily Space Marine. But you said like you had members night. Were you guys playing multiple nights? Or just one?
Yeah, so when I first started, I think we were doing our members nights on I think it was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we started out only having one night a week, and then leading up to the 2019 ECT, we got 2 days a week.
Cool.
To where because we were trying to build our members base, because I am still Loveland's newest player. I'm still the baby of our site because nobody else has joined.
Yeah.
So we got a second night that was it's still like we had a long time to get somebody else to be the baby out of the site instead of me before COVID hit, and that just didn't happen. But we got a second night, one that we kind of kept more competitive, and then one night that was like more supposed to be like a teachable night, but we never had new people come, so it was just a second members night.
With that, like, was it still kind of the same like mentality on the teachers night? That people still
it wasn't
like
supposed to be the same.
Yeah.
That's like how the tournament is just for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're having fun. There's
We're
no
fun
yelling.
We're yelling. I'm telling you what a dickhead because I love you so much and I support you.
It's called coaching. I'm just loudly coaching.
I'm calling you a cunt because I love you. It's okay.
Oh, every time, the back of the spine is,
It's you're like, oh,
it sits there. It's nice.
Like,
if you haven't heard it as well, as an aside, Goldfish has recently become affiliated on Twitch. What is your Twitch channel?
It is that one Goldfish.
1 is the number, yeah.
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah, if you guys could give her a follow over on Twitch, Truly Awful Gaming Grey did a remix, which if you haven't heard it,
can you play it?
What is that? Chala, I'm butchering your name. I'm very sorry, but thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. I can't play it here, but I'm sure it'll do the rounds. The remix
Someone
is
put it in the link.
amazing.
Thank you for putting it in the link. Yes. I know what we'll be doing for lunch.
So it is on my Discord server.
Okay.
I can save it and I'll send it to the resupply chat.
Good.
Yes, please do. The Ikthala? Did I get that right? Apologies. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Smally, when you guys play, or when you played, yeah, but, sorry.
You sound so sad.
What kind of? I'm very interested to hear what kind of games like you guys were playing on the regular.
To begin with, no SM5.
Really?
Like, going back to those first couple of years, all they wanted to do on the sort of advanced members nights was D&D, and it was literally
Really?
you couldn't argue any of the game. They would just no, we're playing that. So luckily, I do like that game, so that was fun. But I literally only ever got to sort of play SM5 literally at the Armageddon tournaments.
Right.
And then people are just like, "Oh, you're so bad at it." It's like, well, I never get to play it.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
This is when I get to play it with non-Laserforce players. It's very difficult.
Thank you, bro.
But yeah, sort of more recently though, we've actually, it's a small group, but a group of players that do want to play SM5. So we were doing that I think it was every other Wednesday we were playing. I think for a temporary period changed to a Monday, and now not at all. But sad face. But we do get to play it a lot more now, and there are actually SM5 tournaments appearing in the UK as well. So get to play a lot more of it now, which I'm very happy about.
That's really interesting. So were you guys playing like multi? Oh, where's DK's face?
Someone has to leave. It's the rule.
Oh, I don't have him in here anymore. You're lucky, chat. So you guys were playing multiple days a week as well, or was that just like every other?
No, this was we sort of did once a fortnight because generally we didn't quite get enough interest for once a week.
Yeah.
So sadly, it is quite a small group at the minute. A fun group, but
yeah.
A small group. We usually average about maybe 6 players.
Yeah.
Unless we get some players sometimes come down from up north to join us.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's quite a way for them to come just for a couple of hours of laser tag.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still good fun, but it's different than having the full teams style of playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do what we can.
Because you travel to play, right? Like if you want to play, it's a good like hour or something away.
Yeah, for generally the sites that I deem worthy to go visit, it's a couple of hours.
Would you like to tell us which sites they are?
There's a zone site 45 minutes up from my house, but it's rubbish, so I don't go there. But it's literally in a kids' soft play centre. It's like they're not interested in members; they're just completely the kids come in as extra kind of thing, so that they're not interested.
Yeah. Just but like, they make kids cry so much, and then it gets boring.
So, like, the two that I usually travel for are Huddersfield and Bradford, which I think there's a few people in chat from those sites. I'm sure they'll make themselves known.
Give a shout out.
UK, what?
Shout out.
What?
But, yeah, they certainly run a lot of events and sort of all-night events they were doing, which involved SM5 and varying other game formats as well, which is a hell of a lot of fun. Very tiring, but a lot of fun. And yeah, they were starting to do some SM5 stuff as well, which was definitely worth the travel.
What Worksop hype?
Oh yeah, Worksop's good.
Worksop.
Worksop is a zone site that's it's actually roughly the middle between Huddersfield and where I am in Peterborough.
Yeah.
So that's quite a nice one where we'll sort of both travel to meet up and play some games there. That's a really good site.
From like a
probably missing of the sites I should mention.
We go nuts. give us some shout outs.
They're probably the ones I've been to more recently. When I was playing Quest, I'd be sort of going to the Swindon site or the Woking site. They were good sites that I used to go frequent there for their members' nights.
Are they like?
And with all these sites, it's just
I was just saying, are they are they drivable, or is it like do you jump on the tube or whatever, or I don't know how your
usually
country
drive
works.
because usually it'll work out that they'll slot the tournaments in on their quiet periods, which quite often is a Sunday night. That's usually quite a popular time to run tournaments. So usually you're finishing at like 11, 12 at night. So to try and then get public transport back is difficult. So I always drive. So I'm quite happy to just drive back at midnight. Doesn't bother me. But usually it's a couple of hours drive. I seem to be about in the middle of all the different sites. I'm about 2.5 hours drive to each different site.
You guys don't sleep over there, do you?
Yeah.
Like the all-night events, we book a hotel for the sake of sleeping for like 3 hours after the event and then drive home.
Oh my god.
Just to get that little bit of sleep before driving. Yeah, we're crazy.
So you're not sleeping like this. You're not like, oh.
Yeah. Quickly drive home and then go back to bed again.
Yeah.
The tube is only London. There's a lot more to the UK than just London. Don't lie to me.
Yeah. I've only ever been to London.
Yeah. That's all there is, right?
It's a train.
Yeah.
You go to London, go home, go bed.
Yeah.
For 3 hours.
That should be their new catchphrase for when we can travel.
Go London, go home, go bed.
Yeah.
UK people sleep upside down and hamburgers eat people. That's exactly right, DK. You know how the UK
pretty
works.
much.
Emo Wolf, no, I'm in Sheffield, technically just above the centre of England. London.
Sorry.
What?
They just wanted to say hi. They're like, we're here.
Scared the shit out of you, dude.
Oh my god.
I might have to go to the bathroom. We're going to go to be right back.
I think you already went.
Yeah. It's more cleanup on R3. Jesus Christ.
I'm so sorry.
It's alright.
Pets tonight.
Fuck, that one too. Did a little poo come out? Yeah.
We were meant to be going to the beach this morning, so they're just letting everyone know.
They're like, hey,
They piss.
we're running out of
We could be
daylight.
wet now.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could be wet and sandy.
You're a barista. You don't need sleep. You have an unlimited supply of caffeine. That's the
Are
dream.
you a barista?
That's the dream.
Ooh.
Emo Wolf. Emo Wolf's a barista.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I miss the days of like, oh, why did that? What the fuck is going on? Sorry, the nuke just like appeared out of nowhere. Phantom nuke. It's so weird. Nothing works around here. It's terrible. I'm just trying to get to my notes. In terms of like tournament experience, and I'll start with Smally because it's probably going to take longest to get through yours. But how many? Do you have a rough idea of how many tournaments you've played? Let's narrow it to just.
Short answer, no.
Even like Laserforce specific.
Laserforce specific is actually a lot less unless you include the Armageddon tour.
Right.
I'd sort of do smaller events at, say, Huddersfield and Bradford again. They'd run their all-night events, which was usually twice a year, which would consist of sort of 3 mini tournaments over the evening with different game formats. But other than that, there hadn't been a tournament scene in the UK, so there really wasn't much ran Laserforce-wise.
Which is interesting because like Peterborough is like probably the site that most non-UK Laserforce players are familiar with, and it's probably because of you, to be fair, because I remember seeing like your name on like the leaderboard, obviously, and then I think even like back in the day, the days of the Laserforce forums, the boards, there were players from Peterborough that floated around those forums, and I think even Night Owl lived there for a while, from memory. Yeah, so it's interesting that like that Laserforce, didn't necessarily have that big of a tournament scene over there. Whoa, what is happening? Goldfish camera. Yeah, Goldfish camera's freaking out. You still with us?
Yes, I am. My Wi-Fi went out for a second.
That was even scarier than the dog barking. Like, your camera did like crazy like paranormal activity stuff. It was awesome.
I'm so glad. I love that.
What about you, Goldfish? Like, you've from a tournament perspective, you played in a few now, yeah?
Official tournaments that I've done has just been Nats 2019 in Detroit, and then Syracuse's ECT this past February.
Right.
But besides that, I've done like our seasons at my own site. I got my Detroit shirt on.
I feel like I should.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Stripes.
Yeah. Yeah, because from memory, you guys played quite a few like site comps, right? Like, you guys had a bit of a league cranking.
Yeah, I guess that's how we would put it. Yeah, we just did seasons where we'd make 4 teams and compete like that, and we pretty much for like I think the first year almost that I played that we essentially just did a season, and they were like 2-3 months, I think, somewhere in there. We'd take like maybe a month off and do socials, and then go back to doing another season.
By socials, you mean more Space Marines, right?
Yeah. That's not competitive, it's just for fun.
Yeah.
No need to get heated, guys. Yeah. It's just for fun.
It's amazing how universal that sentiment is.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool that you guys, at that point had enough people to run those like local leagues, because that's a hard thing to do.
We had a really big member base going at one point. Well, really big. We had I think at one point it was 30 people showing up to our members' nights every week.
That's big. That's a big
thing. What did you do to get 30?
I don't know. I joined when that was going on, and then it just went downhill.
I'm seeing a correlation here. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ruined it.
You're like,
there's gonna be a meme made.
Have fun, guys. They're like, we don't want to have fun. Al, like, you've obviously being from Brisbane, you guys like have a weekly competitive scene, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny that you guys talk about that, but we used to play just season of we'd have 5 to 6 teams, and we'd have like a week or 2 of socials in between, which were always more competitive, or people would get more like angry. I remember our last socials before the end of this year, so much yelling. Like, I was like, oh, it'll be like a really chilled night. We've just come out of like competition, and so much yelling. And everyone's like, are we meant to be having fun? It was a fun yelling again.
I am having fun.
Fun, yeah. Exactly. Where's that chair? Sorry.
Chair, man.
Oh wait, it's folded down. We're okay. You
throw one chair one time. No. I pushed it. I was pushing it. I was giving. Anyway.
Yeah.
You throw one chair, and that's all you know.
It's that guy, that weird guy. He's loud and he throws chairs. There we go.
Yeah.
Shut up, Maddie. But like, so, how many like competitions do you reckon you played in?
Does that include like our seasons?
Sure.
Okay, so I've probably done four seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done 2 Nats. So the Brisbane one was my first Nats, and then I went over to Detroit for my second Nats in, was it 2019?
2019,
yeah. With that guy, I don't know where I'm pointing. Yeah.
this general guy.
The situation, yeah.
That was
and
really
cool.
cool.
We hit Vegas.
I went down memory lane, and like, I've told the story so many times about
amazing.
We were in Vegas, and I had $60. And 7 hours later, I had $2,000.
Yeah. We had like over $6,000 together.
Between us.
Yeah.
The most ridiculous shit. I love it.
Yeah. Fuck, and when I loved walking into that steak restaurant, everyone's like dressed up to the nines. We're in our morning casual wear, and we're like, we're ballers, and we're here, and give us a steak.
Give us a stay. I was in a Pokemon t-shirt, and it looked like it looked like pajamas. Oh, brilliant! What a good time! I can't wait till the next time. I was really hoping that that obviously Nationals was going to happen last week. And then we would all meet up in Utah for them hosting this year, because that would make like an epic Laserforce community Vegas trip actually doable. Yes. It would have been so good. But alas,
so much fun.
Alas, we couldn't. Right. Oh, and here's a great story. Morgan said, Hawker was a guy at your arena a few years ago who got banned for throwing a pack at Smally. Among many other things, he had emotional maturity of a 4-year-old.
True story.
Do you care to elaborate? What did you do? What did you do, Smally?
I did nothing. I was wrong place, wrong time, and this story gets like elaborated on every single time it's told. So basically, must have been an elimination game. Maybe it was SM5 or something. But I was already out and had hung my pack up and was about to walk out pack room, and he came out in a complete like stomp and looked like he was about to throw the pack on the floor. So I suppose I was like, oh no, don't like drop it kind of thing. So I kind of put my arms out. So he ended up kind of throwing it into my arms. And this then just escalated every single time the story's told. So it's proper turned into like, oh, we proper like threw it at me and nearly knocked me out kind of thing.
That's our next emote. Is somebody throwing a pack at Smally.
But yeah, there's throwing a pack is a meme now when people get angry.
That's awesome. Have you guys ever been that angry? Like, that you've thrown a pack?
Nah, I more go the other way. I'll be like out in the car park crying my eyes out over it rather than get angry. I'm that person.
I've been there too.
I do a lap.
I'll be going, oh, this was unfair.
Yeah,
you do a lap?
I'm that person. Yeah.
You take a lap, Trin?
Oh yeah, I take a lap and yell some pretty nasty things. There's been a few times where I've come out of some games beyond pissed off. So I just do this thing, I hang up my pack, I walk outside, I don't make eye contact with anyone. Usually somebody tries to follow me. I give them a look, they go back inside, or start yelling at me saying, you have no reason to be mad, get over it.
That always helps.
Yeah, that never pisses me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's one where I either give them a look and they leave me the fuck alone, or they're like, oh my god, you have no right to be mad, blah, 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 blah. And then I just do a lap around the building or two while I'm yelling some stuff.
Yeah. I can only, like, I can imagine what, like, one of the local business owners being like, oh, there's the Tourette's lady's back again. They just see you do a lap around the building, like, swearing and...
Be like, shitty fuck.
It's okay. Our members' nights are like late at night, so no other, and like where our site is, it's like in this weird business park, and it's like mostly warehouses. So there's like nobody else out there. I occasionally see people like driving trucks because one of the buildings next to us is a bakery.
Yeah.
And sometimes they give me weird looks, and I'm just like, you want to fucking go? Let's go.
Yeah.
But like, no, we're good. We're just baking.
Yeah. Like, let's fucking go.
I remember you. You're from... What's up? What up, dog? I would love to see that. And what's more is I'd love somebody to follow you out, right? And have a tape recorder. And then we can remix that.
Yes.
And then we're going to drop an album, and it's going to be like the most random collection of like poor language that anyone's ever heard. It's going to be magical.
It's okay. I already have a plan because I turned 21 this summer.
Yeah.
And there's a pub. There's a little bar place in one of the buildings like next to our Lasers place. So what I'm going to start doing if I move back to Loveland at any point, which Loveland might not be my home site going forward, but we'll see about that one. But if I do, I'm just going to start taking a lap, but in the lap include going to the bar, down in a bit, and then going back.
May have done that before.
Yeah.
What? Leave us in to do a shot.
It was a brewery place, so I don't know if they have. I've never been in there. I can't. I'm a child, so.
So we have a car park party. Everyone has like an Eskia cooler or a chili bin for UG&D.
Thank you.
So we're like smashing it through beers. It's good.
What, downstairs?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, yeah. We're pretty chilled.
Nothing quite as classy as car park drinking.
Yeah. We're classy bitches. What can I say?
That's right.
Yeah. I'm so annoyed that you guys get to have your rages. I find like when I'm ready to rage, some other guy's over there raging, and I'm like, oh fuck, you just stole my thunder. I can't rage as hard as him. And then I'm like, yeah.
Oh, chair.
I was gonna start chucking chairs, and I'm gonna film it and send it to you.
Excellent.
Yeah. So I'm always like, oh okay, and then I'm like, oh maybe I look like a dick like that, so maybe I shouldn't.
Do you guys find that like,
Was it?
I actually
was breaking my camera, don't mind.
Yeah, say it. It's gonna be sexist. Say it.
I'm tiptoeing around, not coming off like an asshole, but you know.
Be an
Just come
elephant
off
in
like
a
an
china
asshole,
shop.
it's okay.
Break it all.
Oh no, I can't do it. People already think so highly of me.
Yeah.
But now
me
we
in the
need
chair
to
talk
know.
every week.
Yeah, like secretly, I'm the worst, but I have this facade, hide it.
But now we need to know what you're gonna say.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write it down in my little notebook, and then I'm gonna crumple it up and light it on fire. That's how I deal with my
But we
problems.
need to know.
Yeah. Then we're gonna read the smoke signal in Australia, and I'll let everyone know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're not allowed to light fires over there.
Yeah.
Gee, Steve, stop mansplaining. Yeah, exactly right. What else did I have?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Andrew said he's never seen anyone throw a chair. Next week, it's my week.
Yeah. Mark it on your calendar, folks. Heard it here first.
Yeah. I'll throw in a chair.
Please live stream it. I would absolutely sub for it. Honestly, at this point, I can't even remember what I was going to say. It wasn't even that bad.
The secret is to slide the chair. Thanks for the tip, GK.
Yeah. So that's all that happened with me. I pushed it. It's not my fault. Somebody just happened to have waxed the floor, and it got away on me. Yeah. But lucky, like King was right there to just
to catch it with his face. Yeah. Is that where the story's going?
That would have been great if he had have, but he didn't. What a wuss.
He's not a great teammate.
Yeah.
That's why you didn't bring him to Detroit.
He was like, nah, bro, I'm good. I had enough of your shenanigans.
Yeah, didn't want to catch a chair in my face.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Was he not a circus clown? So, for those of you who have played, I suppose you've all played international tournaments at this point. Because, obviously Smally at ECT, like that counts. Like you traveled. How have you? It's kind of an obscure question because the last competition was quite a while ago. But like, have you guys found any like major differences in the way that like a tournament is played versus like at your home site?
For me, definitely, because we don't do the international rules set generally. So it was a huge difference to go play ECT and be doing it as I would call it.
Yeah.
It took a lot to get used to, especially the shoulder. That took a lot of time, and I think I managed to behave like the whole of the first day, and then the last game, it slipped my mind, and I just popped my gun over a wall, shot someone right in front of the referee. And I just turned around and was like, yeah, just give it. Just give me it now. So I know.
You just turn and pull the fingers.
Yeah. But I do actually like it. As a rule set, it encourages a completely different style of play to kind of just, I'm round this wall snapping my gun, and they're going, well, that's nice, I'm round this wall snapping my gun, and you both stand there and go, well, we'll wait 15 minutes, shall we? And then that's the game kind of thing.
And we'll
until your commander gets bored and runs in, yeah. But no, I like it as a kind of, you have to show senses, and it just completely changes up everyone's movement kind of thing.
What?
Uh-oh.
Have we lost the goldfish?
Oh, she back. Oh, oh no,
We saw places.
yeah, oh wait, no, you're back. My whole world was turned upside down.
You're back. Why is Emma under Smally? Smally's taking over. That's exactly right. It ain't. You've made it when forehead cam kicks in on the resupply. That's when you know. That's when you know you've truly made it on the show. Yeah, I'd imagine that's such a especially if you've been playing for.
I say we take off and nuke the entire site from orbit.
Don't calculate it.
Yes, about a year's.
It's really not working for us today. This bloody nuke animation sucks. Goodness me. Yeah, if you've been playing decade plus at this point, making that adjustment is going to be difficult.
Very difficult. And it's also very difficult to then persuade others that it's a good idea when they've been doing it for that long as well.
Yeah.
They go, oh yeah, I went off to America and they do it like this and it's brilliant. And then they're just like, nah. And I'm like, oh, go on. Yeah. And they're like, nah, I don't want it. They tried it for like 5 minutes, go, nah, I don't like it. And it's like, oh, try a little bit longer. Do like a whole tournament of it rather than 5 minutes. Then fair enough. If you don't like it, fine. But yeah, we're trying to encourage it to be tried at the moment. But we'll see.
That'll be the way that...
Not necessarily up to me.
Well, so without it, it's just an unfortunate side effect that I think the two scenes, like the international scene and the UK scene, will be divided, because that's kind of how it was. How's phrasing? Brits being stubborn. That's racist, Ducky. Yeah, it's...
We like to separate ourselves from things.
Yeah.
I'm not going there.
Yeah. Brexit. It's kind of... yeah, I don't even remember what I was saying. Doesn't even matter. Who cares? It's not even that interesting.
Yeah. I just don't think it's going to be hard to have a tournament with like the UK scene or the Europe scene, because like us being like, you need to show a shoulder, like that's the biggest fight we have in our arena, is when people blind shoot or chase and rage. There's so much rage. So I feel like trying to combine the scenes and being like, for a tournament, we're like trying to convince you guys to do it. And it's like, when you play and that's just how you play, so you always revert back to what you're used to playing. So it's not that you're doing it on purpose, like, because I come from paintball, you're like, you don't want to be showing anything when you're snap shooting.
Yeah.
The whole idea is you're just like this. So having to play, like I do it a little bit in laser as well. I'll do a snapshot, what you do in paintball, and everyone's like, oh, you didn't show a shoulder. And then the rage. It's like oh, sorry. They're just not happy today.
Show a shoulder!
Yes, rage! Yes. That kind of, yeah. I'm going to chuck them outside and murder them. So I'll be back.
Okay, no worries.
So if you want to put Than's face on, or DK's.
I don't have it flying around. I really should get it. It in here.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Sorry, choking the dog.
Yeah, it was kind of a thing that happened with the with the US scene versus like the Australasian scene. We kind of had the same thing, and it wasn't until there was like mass adoption of that rule, and it split that scene in half. I think there was a lot of people that were like, nah, don't want to. We'll just go back to playing zone. Yeah, it's interesting. You empathize. Matt Moriarty says you empathize with Al coming from a Laser Quest background. The transition to Force was quite interesting. Is it the same kind of thing with Quest? Where... No?
Like Quest, I've actually played varying different places, like in France and Netherlands, and they generally have a triple quest format where it's 3 teams in at the same time, and it's purely just sort of score based. But yeah, generally, as far as sort of I saw, it was very sort of the same across the board. You generally did the same sort of format, really.
What systems have you played?
Most of them, I guess. Well, most of the ones available in the UK, anyway.
Yeah.
Say, Laser Quest, I sort of had as my second system for. There was a good couple of years that I was purely just playing Laser Quest. But yeah, I've played a bit of Quasar. A little bit of Laserback. I've not actually done any proper tournaments on it. Zone, played a bit of Zone as well, on different sort of versions of Zone as well, quite a few different ones. And they're sort of the main ones I can think of. I've probably missed a glaring obvious one that'll annoy me in a minute and go, what about that system? And go, oh yeah.
You wake up at like 3 a.m.
Someone said Quasar again.
Yeah, Quasar. Quasar's such a strange one because of the whole covering rule set, which is just to me. It's pretty much you can cover your sensors how you want to mostly a degree. There's the odd little rules where you can't do certain little things, like you can't cover both sides of the guns because that's a rule. But literally, it encourages you to basically half dislocate your shoulder. Like the way I play it is, I literally put the gun like back behind my head to cover the sensor down the barrel. Yeah. So I've got my arm across my front, sort of blocking that sensor there. You got no shoulders on Quasar.
Yeah.
So you're sort of standing like this with your arm there to block your front, and then your gun behind your head, and you're popping shots like this. And I'm just there like, what am I doing? I mean, it works, but it's so strange and so hard to pick up as well when you're just like...
It's like launching a rocket launcher. You're like, what am I?
Yeah, and there's other people that do something called a G stance, which is they kind of get the... I'm trying to think if I can even demo it. You get the gun and you kind of flip it around like that, and you do this or something like that. I can't pull it off. I can get into it and hold it like this. I then can't fire, though. I can't then flip the gun round to fire it and snap back in. I'm just there stood there going...
flip it down?
They flip the gun out, fire, shoot you, and then flip it straight back into the cover. And I'm just there like, I can do this bit. Can't shoot.
I can hit myself in the face multiple times, but I can't shoot you.
It's like, I'm just going to leave now. And usually they'll shoot me by that point.
So the one game that Striker gives himself a concussion at.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's so weird. People like... I've had some Zone players that have been like, it doesn't make any sense. In Warfare, why would you stand out and show a shoulder? I'm like, well, then I suppose it's a different system, but like that makes even less sense to...
Yeah. Zone's the exact opposite. As far as I'm aware, proper tournament level is literally you can't be even accidentally covering a sensor, like even with your own phaser. So you're encouraged to... Yeah.
Oh, really? What about your hair?
Oh, yeah, some people can get funny about hair, like especially with my long hair. I have to make sure I've got it properly tied back and away.
My first snaps, I got in so much trouble. Like with having because I had long hair, and I was just at a ponytail, and they're like, "It's covering your back sensor."
I've had people call me on that before if I'm winning on them. They're like, "Your hair's in the way."
I'm like, "You're totally shooting me in the back." Yeah.
Yeah.
People, they just don't understand us people.
Our luscious locks.
I know. Jealousy is what it is. Trans, you're...
Because I'm worth it.
Trin, what about you? Like, are you pure Laserforce?
The system that I actually have the most games on was Darklight.
Right on.
That's what I missed.
No, because it was like an old-ass Darklight system, too. Like... It was bad, like, you know, the little bubbles still. It was like one of the first phasers from it, too. Because so how I actually started playing laser tag was I had worked at another family fun center in the area besides LLT. And they hated me there, and nobody wanted to work the laser tag attraction. So I got stuck running the laser tag attraction, which was shitty. Because none of it never really worked. But I wasn't supposed to, but I just played games with the kids all day. Like, fuck it. They weren't paying me enough to care. They were horrible. And then that's actually what pushed me to start going to LLT and got me into Space Marines. But the system I still, unfortunately, have played more games on is Darklight.
So that's interesting, because, like, so you weren't coming from a place of never having played, like, tag before. you had experience with that. So how long did you work there for?
Year and a half.
Oh yeah, that's a decent amount of time to like get the feel of at least pretending to shoot a gun.
Oh yeah, Prey was pretending because the phasers didn't work, the sensors never registered it.
So
like, it was bad.
That system's so temperamental.
It's okay. I was the only one that could fix the system too, because they fired the the tech dude that was supposed to fix the packs, but he taught me before he left, and then they tried to fire me because I was making the packs work. Because out of 20 packs, we had 12 that were functional.
That's so bad, man.
Yeah. On a good day. Usually I was having to run games of 6, and when you have birthday parties of 30 people and 6 packs that work.
Oh my
I yelled at a lot.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just say that's the equivalent of like, you know, playing games as a kid. Playing like cops and robbers as a kid and be like, pew, I got you. No, you didn't. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
They don't pay you enough, but I care anyway because you get to talk about nerd shit all day. Are you talking about me?
Oh no! I asked DK, is that how he feels about teaching the kids? But they don't pay him enough.
Because I don't pay him shit. Yeah, I keep everything. So what about you, Al? Obviously, you come from a paintball background, yeah? But
yeah.
Did you play any other type of tag?
I used to play actually, like when I was little. Like I go to all the birthday parties, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I got into paintball, because I really enjoyed running around and shooting people, as you do. Not with real guns. Yeah, let's put it out there. Yeah. Like I really enjoyed that. Like, yeah, you better watch. You're lucky I'm in Australia. Yeah. And so I was like really keen to get back into that style. And I like that laser tag is like through the week on a weeknight. Because like paintball you play on a Sunday and it just takes a day out of your weekend, and if it's raining you can't play. There's all these and it's expensive. Well, laser tag is not expensive to play weekly and it's doable, so I can go back each week and play. Yeah. But I haven't really got to play much else but SM5, but I actually don't really mind because I really like the tactical game and just really enjoy that style.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Chris keeps Chris keeps like trying to put new games, like because we're this aren't we like the lead side or something, so he tests all the games here on us, and we're like lame, and he's like it's for the kids, and we're like we don't care. Yeah, this game,
What your feedback? Oh, it's lame. Cool.
Lame. Yeah, you're lame, Chris. That's generally
sorry, you were gonna say?
Poor Chris is trying to describe the game. We're like, what were we supposed to listen? We're not playing SM5. So
Rabbit season.
yeah.
Rabbit season's actually popular at my site. That's one of the go-to.
Really?
I've never played it, but it's one that before we play our
It's
SM5
great.
games.
It's terrible. It has no
brilliant.
point. There's no way to win.
Yeah.
No one wins when you play Rabbit Season, Smally. It's just the sound effects. Oh no, sorry, it's the sound effects of Tag that just. Have you guys ever played the game Tag?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Don't.
Ugh, it's awful.
You guys haven't heard the new intros. They're like 30 seconds long for SM5.
Really?
And they're so fucked. So you're standing at the thing ready to you know how we have to run up a ramp to get going?
Yeah.
It takes a lot of mental energy to be like, I'm ready. And then 30 seconds later you're like, I'm not ready. And then and then it finally ends and then you've got to run. So they've been awful. So
have they changed? So they've changed them from what the aliens quotes? Yeah.
They're a little bit different. They're doing all lame shit to our arena. They closed the bottom bit off, so you can't run downstairs properly anymore.
Yeah. What to the mini golf?
Yeah. Oh, that's just so bad.
Lame.
You just.
Oh no.
Yeah. You just can't. Oh.
There we go.
Yeah. Even G&D agrees with me.
Lame. I love mini golf. It's awesome.
This...
One new intro sound effect, and it's Bill Paxton's line from Edge of Tomorrow. Lame.
Yeah, exactly. Lame.
Every lock-in tag wanted to make me stab my eyes out. Is that every time you guys had a lock-in and you guys played tag? I don't know. Again, I struggle to read things.
Yeah, I agree. If it's not aliens, it's not real.
Exactly
it's not tag.
Exactly right. What was the other thing I had? There's that bloody guy again. Why is it doing that?
Is it you?
It is me. Is it this? It's that. I figured out what it was. Programmed it wrong. What a dummy. Do you guys have any, like, I think we talked about this on a previous podcast, but, like, do you guys have anything that you would change about Space Marines if you could?
Not really. The only thing I usually complain about is sort of, I suppose I play more of a defensive heavy role, so
Right.
never probably score so high on the MVP points.
I say we take
So there
off
should
and
be a
nuke
way
the
of
entire
really
site from
that.
orbit.
Can't believe it worked. What is happening? I'm sorry. There's all sorts of things. Oh, we gotta sort this
Distractions.
out later. It's not even that. It's like random things are happening. I don't know why. I had to maybe rethink the strategy that I had about, like, how I program stuff. Do you guys have, like, favorite Space Marines roles?
Generally not scout.
You don't like scout?
I can't scout to save my life. I just can't do it. It just
Oh, really?
I play
love
it
a
wrong.
good scout.
I just play it wrong so much. I just can't do it.
Play
I
it
suppose because
wrong.
I usually main heavy, so I'm just like, oh, I'm dead again. Oh, I'm dead again.
that
Just
one
can't
hit
quite
point.
pull it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say my favorite is honestly Scout or Heavy. That's one of the nice things that came out of playing at ECT. I got to play with, like Than and Russ and Baden, and it was really nice because after like a year and a half of playing, I finally started to figure out my play style a little bit more
Yeah.
and have me appreciate some of those roles more. And I personally actually really like playing Scout and Heavy.
Al, got a fave?
Ooh, I'd probably say it's Scout. Still not keen on the 3 hits. Like,
No.
at our side, if you don't do well as a 3 hit, there's a lot of rage. Like, you can't play defensive heavy. There's no such thing as a defensive heavy. If you're not out attacking, so much rage. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you have your moments when comms back, but I
Yeah.
suppose with heavy, I really like the fact that I know that if I shoot someone, they're dead. It's no, I might have taken
Yeah.
a toughness off. I might have just like, no, if I've shot
Yeah.
them, they're down. And I just really
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Ain't no
You're
plan.
dead, you're good. Yeah. You're not getting up. And I hate
So
to
I've
say
got 10 shots, I can kill 10 people.
it.
'Cause
I don't mind the like ammo or medic either. I know everyone's gonna be like taking a step back. I don't mind the resupply.
Has its own skill set though,
No,
right?
I don't mind.
Yeah, I feel like it's underappreciated. Like having like being a 3 hit and like having resupply that isn't giving doubles is gone.
Mm.
Like you really do feel it. So I appreciate when I have a good resupply.
Give
Yeah.
them the wee pats on the head.
Yeah, I was like, you did good. You did good. You did not.
Wait, there's a third one?
We have to play with double ammo.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
your arena, it's always like, I don't know, someone like Rusty, and he's just like, what do you mean I have unlimited ammo?
Yeah.
Peace.
And you're just like, yeah. And then, like, because, like, they even the game's out, and then when you got to play, like, a command or a heavy against Rusty that has unlimited ammo, it fucking sucks.
It's brutal.
You just get, yeah, and you're like, oh, that didn't really even the game out at all.
Mm.
Like, he doesn't go back to resupply to give doubles or triples, whatever. He's just out there killing you.
I would like to say that probably my worst experience in Detroit was fucking playing Commander against Rusty and Baden.
Yes.
That was horrible, dude.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I wanted to cry after that game. Not even because I went into that game knowing it was not gonna go well for me as a commander going against
Yeah.
those two. But I came out of that and I was like, fuck. Why am I here?
What you said was before. What you said before was interesting, Trent, about like finding like easing into a play style at a tournament. Because I think it's like for me, going to a tournament or people going and playing a tournament, it's so important for your progression as a player, because you are now playing theoretically the best players from each tournament. And normally you're only dealing with like one or two great players at a site, unless it's Brisbane, and then there's a handful of them. But like, you know who is like the people at your site that are going to be the dominant players. When you go to a tournament, everyone is there. Everyone's at a higher level, and so it kind of helps you raise your game up a bit. And it must be nice, like, with those random draw tournaments as well, because then it forces you to play with people you don't normally play with, and you get to play positions that you don't normally play at home. Like, I think it's really important. It's really important.
I think it's really cool, and it's also really unique because, like, you know, you have people who only play 3-hit, you know, like, for example, like I said earlier, I played with Baden and Than and Russ. You don't see Baden play Resupply very often.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this, I'm probably going to get hated on a lot, but they suck at Resupply. Like, no, because I'm like, if they don't get a double off like of one of us when we're on Resupply, you never fucking hear the end of it. And then there was games where I was playing Commander and I'd come back and my ammo's out attacking and I'd have to go get lives, then go find them and get ammo. But like, if that was me, I'd never hear the fucking end of it. Or my medic, if Taipan's playing it, is being a fucking attacking medic. And he's out there attacking, and I'm like, how do I get lives? So I'm running around trying to find my medic to get lives. So I don't do well from the game because I can't get any lives or shots.
Yeah.
Like, and it fucking sucks. And they're the games I feel like raging. And then they come and rage at me. They're like, oh, you didn't get a third nuke off. And I'm like, how? I had no shots. I had no lives. And yeah. So I hate it when they actually play Resupply. like I freaking hate it because they're not there giving you Resupply. So I feel maybe that there should be some MVP points for the amount of doubles that Resupply give, like in a row, like something like that, because we've been playing that tournament where you play for yourself.
Yeah.
So they're all out getting big points. They don't give a fuck about giving you Resupply.
Yeah.
So even though they've ended on 7,000 points, your team still lost because you couldn't get Resupply as the commander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a really interesting
Sorry.
point. Because you're right. Like,
rant.
I think, and it's probably especially prevalent with you guys because you are always in like the most competitive environment. Brisbane League or even Brisbane social games are you're thrust into the fire immediately.
Yeah.
Something I wanted to comment on is in the chat later, like, just tell them to shove it, like they're being a bunch of assholes. That's the thing, though, is if one guy tells another guy to go fuck themselves because they were being dicks to each other, that's one thing, and it's handled kind of more with respect. As a group, it's as like women in this community, it's really hard to look at the guys in this community and be like, no, I didn't fuck up. This one's on you. You're the one that fucked up. Because then it's, oh, they're just being hysterical, or oh, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know how to play this game. Like, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Or they're just hormonal, or what I got told. So the guys, which I was really going to fucking punch someone. So I was playing ammo or medic, and I decided to go out and start killing, like they all do to me. And they were like, it's different when one of the good players are doing it because they need to do that to defend for the team. Like, it's different. And then they sort of said to me, well, you don't need to. You just need to focus on giving Resupply because you're not good enough to be out there attacking. And I was like a bit pissed off like about that. Yeah.
It's not a good precedent to set because, for me anyway, like when you start doing that, that's how it's always going to be. Nobody learns from that scenario. So it's not good in the long term. It's not good in the short term or good in the long term to do that sort of shit.
But like Andrew said, like, actually, like, I won't get into it, but like we had some players are feeling a bit like ganged up on.
Yeah.
and like they were getting quite upset. So I stuck my head out and said, "It is not fair."
Yeah.
Like I'm sort of at the stage where people can put shit on me now, and I'm sort of like whatever. But there was people who were crying to me each week, so like I'm sorry that I had to put my hand up and say it's not fair how you treat some people. And I'm like, and some of them have disabilities, so you know that they're out there giving it them all. So I think you're a sad person if you're like they're ranked as a player 1 or a 0. So if they're out there scoring 3,000-4,000 points, they get their bases, they've had a fucking good game, you haven't played good enough. And that's how I see it. So I'm sorry that I stuck up for them, but that's just the kind of person I am. You can lay shit on me, but I'm not going to let you lay shit on like people who don't deserve it. And like that's the best thing in their life is playing Laserforce each week. Sorry, but that's how I feel about it. It's Andrew, yeah.
Yeah,
sorry.
later.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked a lot recently about and DK's just used the word there, ridding our scenes of toxic behavior and whatever form that manifests itself in. There's no place for it. People generally come and play these games as an escape, or they want to feel part of a community or whatever the case may be. And when you have toxic behavior, it's such a an off-putting thing. And disagreements are fine, they happen.
Yeah.
But it can't be the norm. And it can't go unchallenged. It's a real important thing. Like, so definitely stand up for people if someone's being treated like shit. And exactly right. Matt, don't apologize for sticking up for people. Always do that.
Yeah.
Or you should always.
But I think the biggest thing is like, and this is something that does annoy me about the scene, is someone shouldn't have to like it shouldn't have to go to a committee to intervene. If you see someone else treating someone else like shit and it's constantly happening, like you should say something.
Yeah.
Like that's how I sort of feel about the whole thing. Like you shouldn't need to go to, like you shouldn't need to get rid of toxic people because other people should be being like, that's not okay. Because if you don't say that's not okay, you're just as bad as the people who are sitting in the background and not doing anything. Yeah. And I think that's what breeds like a good scene. For sure.
One that people actually want to be a part of and spend their time and energy building. Yeah. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah. Otherwise, why are we there? Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think like we can all have those games where we come out and yell at each other. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like
I think like I had a conversation a while back. It's not Laserforce related, but more about like being a decent person.
You are a bit of a dick. I didn't want to say.
Oh yeah, the worst. Like a conversation with a close friend of mine where he had said something that was nothing, like wasn't even a thing, and I fired up and basically told him to go fuck himself, and that almost ruined our relationship because he said I would never talk to you that way. I'd expect you to have the same respect, and that's how I look at every interaction that I have with people that I interact with on a daily basis. And if you can hold yourself to that kind of standard of I don't appreciate being treated like that, so therefore I would never treat you like that, so don't do it back to me. And like I said, we people fire up and do dumb shit, but if you can apologize for it, that's a good step in the right direction.
Yeah, we all have our moments where we're dickheads, or we say something that we shouldn't have, and just about pulling your head in the next week and not letting it happen. Yeah,
man up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No.
Grow a bunch of balls.
Ugh. It's no good. So yeah, if you're one of those people, stand up and protect the more vulnerable people in your communities. Be a top bloke, like all
woman.
of us here. Yeah.
Top woman.
Yeah. be a top person.
Grow your hair long like us.
Yeah, like all the cool kids do over lockdown.
Yeah.
Would anyone else like to talk. We've been going for about an hour and a half. Would anyone else like to talk about anything else? I had this last question, which was like, would it, as predominant members of your scenes and as female participants in our communal activity, Laserforce, fuck, that came out so much worse than I intended it to. Jesus Christ.
It came out really sexist.
Fucking hell. Do you know sometimes how you wish you could just smash that in-stream button? Let me start that again. Is there any advice? Did I break you, Trin? I'm sorry. Uh-oh. Always remember to backtrack.
Always remember to backtrack, kids.
Oh, thank you for those bits. What advice would you guys give to newer players, or like, yeah, what advice would you guys give to newer members of your communities? And that could be from a female perspective, or it can be from a player's perspective. I suppose it's one and the same, right? Do you wanna...
I mean, unfortunately, they're kind of different things. Like, talking to a new female player about playing is different than talking to a guy that's new.
Right.
Because those guys already have a bunch of people to look up to, or be like, oh, I want to be just like so-and-so.
Yeah.
But, like, for talking to them, it's, oh, just stick around, like, you'll get used to it, you'll learn everything, you'll get the hang of it. Whereas talking to girls, it's a lot of, yeah, they're dicks. They're gonna be dicks.
Yeah.
But sooner or later, you'll either stand up to them and tell them to go fuck themselves, or one of the other people will, or, like, it's one of those that talking to a girl, it's a lot more like warning them of the toxicity of the community, as opposed to, oh, the game is hard to understand, you'll get it, you'll be okay. That's what talking to another guy that's newer to the game is like. It's more, oh, it's okay, you'll be fine, you'll figure out all the rules in no time, like, all these guys are here to help you.
Yeah.
Whereas talking to another female, it's, yeah, they're dicks. I went through that too. Yeah. I went through that too. Like, we all share same experiences with toxicity. And, like, it's one of those that it's more, they'll either stop being dicks or it'll stop affecting you.
Right.
Yeah, you just grow a tougher skin, which is sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
That you have to say, you're gonna get yelled at, don't worry about it, it's not personal, but it's gonna suck. But yeah, no one says to them, oh, you're gonna get better, you're gonna really start understanding the rules. It's almost like you're gonna do good for a girl, and that's,
right.
Yeah. And enjoy the resupply position.
Yeah, like, for me, it's one of those that right before COVID happened and everything, I got the credit of being the best girl at my site when I'm the only active girl. That was one of my favorite things that I got told right before COVID hit is, congrats, you're officially one of the best girls that plays for Loveland.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like
player would have been nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna be our best player. Give it a few years. Watch out, Fear Turkey. Watch out, Slaughtermelon. I'm coming.
Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted. I didn't realize like shit was kicking off in chat.
Yeah. Sorry, I think I kicked a lot of it off, but
it's alright. We'll hopefully be able to work to a place where put Caleb in a corner. Hopefully work to a place.
That's the goal. I'm gonna be Loveland's best player. If I stick around one of these goddamn days, I'm going to be Loveland's top player.
Gotta be home first, right?
Yeah, if it's still my home site, I'm gonna become Loveland's top player eventually. Right. One of these goddamn days. I don't care how long it takes.
Smally, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Not really. Basically, yeah, just if it's something that you want to do, don't give up just because people around you aren't necessarily friendly or whatnot, really. Like, fortunately, after the people who were complete dicks at my site left, I ended up discovering other centres where actually most of their member teams are amazing, supportive people who actually seemed, they're like, oh my god, you actually travelled here to play, come in, and just absolutely great people, which is the main reason that I quite happily sort of oh, we're running a tournament. Do you want to play? Yeah, let me jump in my car for 3 hours and drive up to you. And I wouldn't even like think about it. It's just, yeah, I'd love to come play. And that is one of the things that does keep you going. Yeah.
I would say that at this stage, you're probably the person that you're the face of UK Laserforce. like really though, for us that aren't in the UK, you're like, when somebody says the UK scene, that your name is the most synonymous with UK Laserforce, and that comes from the amount of time and dedication that you've had for the game, which is awesome. Like it's anyone that's stuck at a thing for for as long as you have, it's really important that people recognize that. And I think well, for me at least, that's the case. So yeah, I think it's definitely a respect thing.
Yeah.
Or I'm just stubborn.
Perfect. I mean, it's hand in hand with like the love, right? The love of the thing that you do, and the stubbornness to giving it up. I mean, at least that's how it is with me. Like, I don't want to give up this thing because I love it, and like I will hold on to it for absolutely as long as I can.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna be playing until I literally like can't anymore, kind of thing. Yeah, it's literally gonna be like crawling on the floor. I want to play.
Yeah.
I'm coming. Yeah.
Where's my
Get
walker?
back in your chair.
Yeah. Yeah. But if it like wasn't for like people like Smallies and like G&D, like you wouldn't have scenes, I feel like, in your communities. Like it's you people that constantly go, we're going to do it week after week, and like you make that 2-hour drive, and like and you keep the scene alive. Like even when you're down to 3 or 4 players, like, and you keep coming back, like you guys are the people that just keeps it moving forward, and like you make sure that it's going to be around in 2 years' time. So like I do appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
like
a great
you're
word.
always there. Yeah.
We know. We basically live there.
I'd probably just get a sleeping bag and just leave it there if they'd let me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not allowed.
Yeah.
Can you guys make me a nook in the back?
Just make us a little hotel, room out back, and we'll just stay.
I'll just leave a chair for you, G&D, with a pillow on it.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
In our arena, we have a little platform that used to be like a DJ booth that we could all just put a ladder up, crawl up there, just
And ownership will like, I think someone's living here. Someone's in the walls.
You just hear scratching.
Yeah.
We do have possums
in the Brisbane arena.
Yeah. You see them up there like hanging on, and you're like, please, possum, don't drop in my head. This is not part of the game. You're not in the game, so yeah.
I've played in Brisbane so many times.
And you've never seen the possum?
Never again. Never ever again. Because
it's right. I'll spray. We've got possum. Like, you know how you've got the fly stuff that you spray. We've got like possum red riddle. So I'll spray you with that.
It's like mace.
Yeah. Oh, my eyes. Well, then you can't see it, so you're fine.
This dirty bastard's coming through the roof. Look, if it's only possums that are in the Brisbane arena, I think I could live with that. But you know,
I'd still be more afraid of Rusty.
Yeah, he does more damage.
What about Rusty riding a possum?
That's gonna haunt my dreams. Please, if there's any animators in our community, I would love to see what that looks like. We need to edit
I'm more thinking of wearing it as like a backpack with the holding like the phaser.
So he's like, it's still alive?
Yeah. And it's holding the phaser.
My mind instantly went to Rusty killed and skinned a possum and turned it into a backpack.
Like a raccoon hat? Oh, a possum hat.
Small, can you get your cat and demonstrate?
Be back in 1 minute. I just really need to go to the loo. Just 1 moment.
Okay, sweet. I'm missing all the solid things that are happening in chat.
Possum verse El Doggo. Yeah.
Dark light
My
packs
dog's
are made of
like-
leather.
Yeah.
Sorry, say again.
I was gonna say, someone said possum verse my dog. My dogs like to defluff things, so I think the possum would lose. Like, they're not allowed near chickens because they like pick all their feathers out. They don't kill the chicken, but it's got no tail feathers.
So it's a psycho, is what you're saying.
It just loves to cuddle and defluff small toys. Like I have body parts of animals all around my house.
But is that your doing or the dog?
Look, we both like to help.
Yeah, you're into some like voodoo shit. You scatter body, like dog, not dog, animal. Oof.
Yeah.
I'm
be careful.
Sidestep that one. Goldfish, what have you? Do you wanna promo what you've got coming up for your channel this week? Do you have anything planned?
So far I have a D&D stream coming up on Sunday. Do my weekly campaign. It's not nearly as fun as DK's Chronicles, but you know, it's a time. One of the last sessions I seduced my ranger seduced the Drow matriarch, which was really funny. It was a time. Damn near got my party killed doing that, but you know.
Hey, how you doing?
Besides that, currently I've got a Tuesday stream that is going to be Dead by Daylight, which I think will be featuring Heathen and Know-It-All.
Cool.
As well as our near and dear old man Tham.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. Who? And then on Thursday, I will be doing a stream of either Phasma or Dead by Daylight.
Cool. If in case you missed it, it is twitch.tv/that1goldfish. If everyone could give her a follow, that would be mighty fine of you. We're all about the rising tide lifts all ships, if you will. And I've had our boys, our boy Blueson, help me to on the road to streaming glory. We have coming up this week on the Resupply channel. Tomorrow we are playing D&D. We start an hour earlier for anyone that's interested. We've shifted the time slot an hour earlier, so we'll be starting 12 o'clock New Zealand time, which is whatever it is in 1, 2, 3 different time zones. So yeah, we start an hour earlier tomorrow. Tuesday we are back with Laserforce live. By the looks of it, we have another full house on Tuesday, so we should play more Space Marines. Come and hang out and watch some
Rabbit season.
Yeah.
Never gonna happen. Until you like financially back the show. It's never gonna. No, just jokes.
She's like, consider it.
yeah. It's like, I do hate Rabbit season, but I love Smalley's money, so. And then Thursday we are back with a very special edition of Thunderdome Thursday. We've changed the format a little bit for the coming week, so tune in to find out how that train wreck is going to unfold. And then we'll be back next week. I think that both DK and Tham will be back on the Resupply. We are sure? Well, hopefully, maybe I'll just replace them with you guys.
I'm available.
Well, I'll let you know.
Friday night.
Yeah. So we are on the build up to episode 100. Today was episode 90, and honestly, I couldn't think of a more special way to spend episode 90 with you guys. Like, thank you so much for coming on and giving the community your
Thanks for having us.
Honestly, it's so important to hear perspectives. If you ever get a chance, folks, make sure you get the perspective of people that aren't you, because it's really important to enrich the outlook that you have on this crazy thing that we call life. But would anyone else like to say anything before we go?
I just wanted to thank you for having us on here and giving us a place to like talk about all this stuff and bring some awareness to some of the issues that I don't think a lot of people realize are an issue because they don't ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so important to ask. So important. But you're welcome. Thank you for coming on and enriching our one-dimensional show.
It's now 2-dimensional.
Yeah, exactly right. Look, we'll leave it there for this week. Do you guys want to help me with the outro? You guys know how the outro goes?
Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
Jesus Christ. Hang on, before we do that, cheers.
Cheers.
We're gonna do it this way. We're gonna go this way around. So we'll go Al, Goldfish, Smally, and then we'll end up. Okay, for this week. I've been GuyNextDoor.
I've been Elle.
I've been Goldfish.
I've been Smally McSmall.
Yeah. Always remember to backtrack, kids. We will see you next week. Peace.
Bye.
See ya.